The following is a sponsored program paid for by Yaba TV.
Welcome to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Sia. So today is a one-on-one special with Dr. Koko. Dr. Koko is a board chairman of the NAPAC Foundation. He's also a psychologist. So he has a lot of information to share with you today. So tell everybody you know about our beautiful show. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Sia. So my guest today is Dr. Koko. But before I talk to him, let me just introduce him a little bit. He's a psychologist. He's also with NAPAC, and NAPAC is a Nigerian organization locally in the community that you probably want to connect with. So at this point, let me introduce my guest of the show, Dr. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Sia, for having me on the show, and thanks also for the work that you do in the community.
You're welcome. So our audience, our viewing audience, some of them watching the show, they know you, but there are many that don't know you, so please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I describe myself as a dad. Like you said, I'm a scientist, a business consultant, and a psychologist, as well as a community member that loves to serve people.
I like that. He likes to serve people. Hey, I like that. So let's get down to business. You're originally from Nigeria, correct?
Yes.
When you first came to the United States of America, this beautiful nation, forever beautiful America, what was the cultural shock like?
I remember being in New York, Staten Island, and as I was walking, I saw like a squirrel run by. And my initial instincts was, oh, that's a squirrel. I need to go after it, you know. And someone had to tell me, no, buddy, can't do that here. So it's been, a very good experience. Learning the difference between an individualistic, community like the United States versus, Africa, Nigeria, where I come from, where we're more community-oriented. I quickly realized that you tend to be doing things more by yourself, more alone, which is why, part of everything I've done is to start to figure out a way to bring a sense of community out of this, individualistically designed system where it's all about you, right? But no man's alone. So
where I came from, Sierra Leone, which I think Nigeria, they do that too. People come to your house unannounced.
Yeah.
They just knock. Before you know it, they are right there.
Yes.
And what do you do to receive them? Tell us about that.
It's only recently that you have phones and cell phones. Well, I mean, there's been phones in Africa, but not everyone had one. So like you said, people just show up. And you have to be ready to receive guests. My parents, until they passed, it was still the same thing for them, and they enjoyed that. When they came here, they found it really difficult to settle in because we were all so busy. Everybody was going to work, the kids were going to school, and they were mostly alone, and they struggled with that to adjust to the culture. And when I saw them when they went back, they were so comfortable because you have the hawkers selling things, just walk by and just, knock on the door, open the door, and say, hey, here, I'm here to sell this to you. And you didn't plan on buying it, but you end up buying, and everybody, yes, you patronize, you have kids that just stroll in, and everybody just shows up as needed. And that, was very uplifting for them, and I could see the difference, even though we have a lot of this good and great things here in the greatest country in the world, but there's still some things that the humans need, the human touch, the connection, the community that is a little bit different and works for some people.
Let me just make this clear.
Yeah.
In America, or should I say America is the greatest country in the world.
Agreed.
That's my opinion, and I'm sure you agree with me.
100%.
But there's no place like home where you come from. That touch of culture, that touch of love, you can't find it just anywhere. It has to be from the origin. Correct me if I'm wrong.
1,000%. 1,000%. And that's, part of, and we all carry it with us, right? It's still part of who I am as a person. And actually, it's been a blessing because now I have the best of both worlds, live in the biggest, the greatest, and the best country in the world, and still having, that part of me, that community part of me, that cultural part of me, where I'm able to express that in everything I do, which makes me a little bit more unique in my presentation, in being able to execute on things that I do, and when I communicate with people, it allows me to be a little bit more connecting with folks. So having the best of both worlds make me more well-rounded and all that, and also adds to this country, right? All of those things that we bring is what adds to this country and makes it the greatest country in the world because of the potpourri of things that we bring to us here to elevate and grow this country.
Wonderful. I know we talked briefly about NAPAC when we first started the show, but some of our audience watching the show, they don't know what NAPAC stands for. Please help me out.
NAPAC, we prefer to say NAPAC, but it stands for the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. I am the chairperson of the foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. But there are other sister organizations to the NAPAC family, like the NAPAC USA, which is a 501c4. It's more social-political. And then we have, state branches that are, that are PACs. They're known as the 527s across the different regions and across different states in the United States. So we're here, we're everywhere. And if you wanted to connect with us, we welcome everybody, and we're willing to work with and serve the community everywhere that we exist.
What was the reason, or what's the mission, vision behind NAPAC? When was it established?
So NAPAC was established in 2011. Yes. So the initial one, organization was NAPAC USA, the 501c4 that I told you about, by some visionary Nigerians who figured that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and in order to get people off the menu, they decided that we need to be organized in a way that we can be part of the discourse into what to grow this country, and part of the discourse means people know Nigerians to be very educated, enterprising, and all of that, but what do you do with that, right? So what NAPAC does is for us to harmonize, synergize all of that, to be able to use it as a platform, using NAPAC as a platform to pull all of that together, to serve the community, to give back, and then to elevate. So our mission really is to educate, empower, and engage Nigerian Americans, minorities, and all people of color. Basically anybody that is down on their luck or need help. That's who we serve. We're a very inclusive organization, takes care of anybody and everybody in our community that needs our assistance.
So for someone that is watching that want to get to know NAPAC or be a member, what does it take?
It just takes you being interested. Go to a website, sign up, or reach out to us, and you can be engaged. There is no qualification. You just need to be alive, to be a human being, and to be accessible, and to raise your hand and say, I want to help, I want to join, I need your assistance, or I want to contribute one way or the other. That's all it takes. Just raise your hand, and we're here.
So locally, you're connecting the dot between those that are a little bit maybe on the less fortunate side to help them bring them up a little bit. But do you also have links or any kind of connection in back home in Nigeria where you came from? Are you helping the people?
So we're a 501c nonprofit based out here. We operate out of Los Angeles. That's where we're headquarters. But we serve the world, right? We serve the world. Nigeria is our primary community, but we operate in other parts of Africa through our basically 4 programs: Health for Prosperity program. We have a Food Security and Economic Empowerment program. We have an Education, Training, and Leadership Development program, and then we have our Community Engagement and Social Responsibility and Justice program. So through each one of these programs, we connect people here and in the community in Nigeria. We give grants, we give scholarships, we fund schools, we start like local farming in Nigeria. We out here we give scholarships to college-bound students. We give scholarship to kids in other parts of Africa. We partner with other organizations as well.
But we do need to take a break to acknowledge the people that make this show possible. When we come back, I'm going to dive into your world. Being a psychologist, who inspired you, why you're doing this, and who do you serve? We're going to find out all that when we come back. So we need to take a break to acknowledge our sponsors. We'll be back after these messages. You're back with our lovely show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Yesia. So today is a one-on-one special with Dr. Koko. Dr. Koko has been talking to us about NAPAC, but he's also a psychologist, and before we took a break, I promised that I was going to dive into his world to find out what he does in the community. Back to you, sir. Tell us, who inspired you to want to be a psychologist?
So when I got to the United States, while I was preparing for my board exam, I worked part-time as a child care counselor at homes and centers for at-risk youths, homeless kids, and also kids that are going through recovery from addiction and all of that. And it was supposed to be a part-time gig, and I ended up doing it for years, and I realized that I had passion for this. But that triggered something in me that I didn't know that I had. I was just doing it, I've always known that I like to help, and I always known that I like to give back, and that was just for me, a way to serve and to help, but it dug something out that I didn't know was there. So after I got my board certification, I decided that, hey, why don't I go all the way and do this, and so that I can, learn more and be able to do it effectively and to serve people better with better knowledge. So I went in and got a PhD in psychology, and the rest is history.
In our African communities, some communities, not all, especially back home, when it comes to anything mental health, for them to take mental health medication is a problem. You in this career, tell me, help me out and help our audience out. Why?
There will always be myths, and I think that now as people are becoming more connected globally and there's more access to information, that myth is starting to go away. People are starting to realize that, mental health is part of your health. And when that part of your health is not functioning, then there you see the symptoms that we see in folks. So there's becoming a little bit more awareness, and with people such as myself that look like me going into that profession and being able to speak on forums like this, that hey, we're all humans. We all have situations where that depresses us or that stresses us, that triggers some of this emotional imbalance. It's not a bad thing. There's no witchcraft. There is no voodoo. It's okay to take medication if you and get treatment and to consult with someone that can help you so that you can feel whole and feel better. It's not just even in Africa. It's also among the African American community here. We struggle with acceptance that we have this kind of situation, but now people are becoming more aware, and having folks more like me here, at least there's additional resources that if you don't feel comfortable, you have other options to consult with people that look like you.
What do you think that professionals like you and myself should be doing to erase or eradicate that stigma?
You have to understand that we're human beings, and the history, both true and untrue, gets passed on, right? And some of these things have been passed on from generations that, like you say in Africa, it's witchcraft, and also there's also that culture of norm that if you admit to being depressed, you're weak, right? Pull yourself up your bootstrap and get back to work. But it's not that simple. The mind controls everything. So mind and body are both like in sync. So if your mind's not right, it affects you physiologically. And sometimes when you have physiological imbalance, it affects your emotional state as well. So people like you and myself, and I appreciate some of the things that the NBA players are doing, and some of the athletes are beginning to come out and say, look, I might look like the best basketball player or the gymnast or something, but I'm human as well.
Your work is very tedious, I can imagine, but I'm sure you also have a fun time. What do you do for fun?
So I have an alter ego that people that are close to me, only people close to me know about, and that person is DJ Kososhi. So I call myself a bedroom DJ, so don't try to hire me or anything like that. But I love music. I can't play an instrument, but I can do a good mix of other people's music and entertain people and make them happy. So I listen to music in my spare time, and and I entertain friends and family when they have little backyard boogie, as I call it, backyard parties and stuff. Yeah.
Looking at our camera, tell our audience where they can connect with you.
Yeah. So first of all, if you would like to connect with me, best ways through the organization, the NAPAC organization. You can reach out. If you want to send an email to learn more or connect, you can reach out through info@napacfdn.org. If you want to learn about our organization, and you can reach out to us at napacfdn.org or by calling us on the phone at 213-534-8499.
Thank you so much for your time on my show, and I wish you continued success in all of your many projects.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We do need to take another quick break to acknowledge our sponsors, the people that make our show possible. And then when we come back, we are going to take you to Music Video Land. That's the place some of you take the time to thank me for bringing you the consciousness of Africa to your homes. So today, we have another great music video. So you are definitely in for a special treat. So tell everybody you know about our beautiful show. We'll be back after these messages.
Want more of The Yaba Show? Tune in to The Yaba Radio Show on 94.7 The Wave Radio and catch discussions and the rhythm of Africa every Sunday at 6:30 a.m. on 94.7 The Wave. Don't miss it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our television broadcast today. We are on every Sunday at 4 p.m. right here on KKR Los Angeles. If you're a regular viewer of our show, we bring you nothing but the best of information based on first-hand knowledge. Today was one of the best shows ever, in my opinion. But I'd like to hear your opinions, so take the time to write to us, info@yabamedia.com. If you're just coming in town and want to connect with our international platform, please contact us. If you're getting married or you have a special celebration and you want to connect with Yaba TV, please contact us. Our phone number is 562-833-8294. Follow us on Instagram, Yaba TV Los Angeles. Follow us on YouTube, Yaba TV Los Angeles. While you're there, like, share, and subscribe. That put a big smile on my face. Till then, we'll see you next week at the same time on the Yaba TV show, your contemporary bridge to the motherland, Africa.